Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're zeroing in on a really specialized piece of hardware. It's the PureLink DVI-DOC digital signal isolator. So our mission is pretty simple. Figure out what this thing actually is, why it exists, and, pull out the key specs that matter for a professional AV setup.
Exactly. And it really gets to the core of a couple of major hurdles you hit in high-end installations.
Well, sure, what?
Signal integrity over long distances, for one, and managing power delivery. This device, which was actually PureLink's first digital signal isolator, tackles both of those things with a really elegant physical solution.
Okay, let's unpack that. The core function, DVI-DOC.
Yeah.
It's an isolator. This is more than just a booster, right? It's about security.
It is. And the mechanism for that is honestly what's so fascinating. It's the simplicity.
How does it work?
The sources make it really clear. If you want to isolate the signal, to physically cut the connection between the source and the display, you just unplug the DVI-DOC.
You just pull the power cord.
That's it. It's a mechanical kill switch.
Yeah.
Which is perfect for any environment where you need absolute physical proof that no data is flowing.
That makes a lot of sense for, high security environments. But I have to ask, DVI, in 2025, it feels a little legacy. Why are people still buying new DVI hardware?
Yeah, it's a fair question. It's often for backward compatibility with existing, very expensive equipment. But this thing is also doing another job.
The second function.
It's also injecting 5 volts of power into the connected fiber optic extension cable. So it solves the isolation problem and the power delivery problem for these older DVI systems, all in one little box.
Ah, okay. That double duty makes the price make a lot more sense. So let's get into the performance. How far can this little box push a clean DVI signal?
It's specifically designed to compensate for 50-meter-long cables.
So that's what, 164 feet?
About that, yeah. And that's right at the distance where standard copper cables start to really struggle, where you get noise and dropouts. And you're not sacrificing quality either. It supports resolutions up to HDTV, so your standard 1080p, but also WUXGA.
1920 by 1200.
Right, for those higher-end professional monitors. It's also pushing a data rate of up to 2.25 GBPs, which includes deep color.
That reliability over distance is everything. And speaking of reliability, the source mentions its MTBF is 50,000 hours. Can you put that in real-world terms for us?
Sure. MTBF is mean time between failures. So 50,000 hours is almost 6 years of this thing running 2047 before you'd statistically expect a failure.
6 years!
For a pro AV install, that's a huge selling point. You install it and forget about it.
Okay, looking at the physical box itself, it's got the 29-pin DVI-out connectors for input and output, but I was surprised to see it handles analog audio.
Yeah, a separate 3.5 millimeter stereo jacks for audio in and audio out. That tells you it's often used in setups where the audio signal is coming from a totally different source on the rack and needs to be routed alongside the video.
We've hit the performance, but where does this thing actually live? Let's talk form factor.
It's tiny. I mean, really small, 69 by 26 by 55 millimeters, and it weighs just 150 grams. It's made to be hidden away.
Right.
And here's another key detail. It's TAA compliant.
The Trade Agreements Act. That's a huge tell, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. That immediately tells you who the target customer is. This is for government contracts, military installations, not your home theater.
And that context really sharpens when you look at the other products in this line. This base model has fiber optic cousins, right?
It does. The DVI-DOCF and the HDMI-DOCF. And the price jump is significant.
Right.
The HDMI fiber version is pushing $3,000.
Wow.
Yeah. And that jump shows you just how much complexity pros are willing to pay to solve when even a boosted DVI signal isn't quite enough.
So to wrap this up, what this all means for you is that this one small device solves 2 huge problems in pro AV distance and power. It gets high-spec video out to 164 feet, and crucially, it gives you a dead simple mechanical way to cut the signal for security.
Which leaves us with a really interesting question to think about. Given that huge price gap between this DVI isolator and its fiber optic counterparts, we're talking thousands of dollars, what other unseen layers of complexity, what other integration costs beyond just the hardware itself do you think professional installers are factoring in when they have to choose the right system for that 164-foot run?